Kia ora koutou katoa, everyone, and welcome to my page. My name is Fire Phyllis Marie. Hello, hello, hello. I hope you are traveling well out there. With big love, I send it to you. I'm going to talk about the next stage of your healing. I handed you a handout in regards to the next stage or part of your healing. And what it is doing is getting to you to know, is teaching you about your inner child, that innocent part of you. Now, since your first initial trauma until this present day, there's other stuff in between, stuff that you weren't able to control, stuff that you were able to control. There's a lot of stuff that infiltrated and indoctrinated you and programmed you because of your childhood trauma. Okay. And again, I am feeling for you as an empath, and also with my own knowledge of going through what we go through. It pretty much will help you to understand and also to clear up clear your karma is one thing, okay? And that is what we're doing from this stage on in the next journey. Now, because we have retrieved that innocent part of you, it's about keeping that close, keeping and looking after it. That's part of your soul, the innocent part of you, and to nurture that part of you as well. That is your spirituality, okay? When I say that's your innocent part, that is your most sacred part that is connected to a higher consciousness, all right? Whether it be to creator, source, or Christ consciousness. Anyway, what I did for you was to give you a handout, okay, and to help you along your next journey. There was a series of a meditation, journaling, and all that jazz, okay? So the reason why I'm getting you to do this is because sometimes, or at some stage, when you wake up in the morning, and it could be every morning, could be once a week, it could be 2 times a week, you could wake up with an energy that's very, very negative. And that energy may be more trauma, a memory that's still in there subconsciously. Because after you came to me for the sacred child healing, that sacred child healing opens you up to a higher consciousness, to start looking at yourself from a different perspective, not as a traumatic individual, but as a loving soul. Because now that you have got everything back together, you really need to focus on that, because it's made you a lot stronger. That oneness and that not being scattered all over the place, especially with your energy, your mental thought. Okay. So anyway, let's go back to this handout. And what it is if any memory that comes into you in the morning that's brought more negative energy, similar to your child trauma, I want you to focus on it. Write down in your journey the individuals that were involved in this part of this trauma. I want you to write down the incident, and also, was it yours to carry all these years? Was it you? Was it yours? Was it your fault? Or was it someone else's anger that was projecting on you? Because a lot of the stuff that happened after your childhood trauma was not your fault. Because you were damaged, and energetically that negativity sits in you. It inhibits you. You're walking around as you have walked around as a victim and a survivor. But now that you're back together again, there's a shift, there's a change. And so the next part of your healing is to sort out and to heal any other following trauma may have happened to you. So in the morning, you get your journal, you write it all down, the incident, the people involved, everything. Okay, the topic, the lot, everything that you can remember, everything that's flooding through, all those memories, get it in your journey, write it down. Yes, it did happen. And if it was no fault of yours, this is when you do the next exercise, okay? And that is after the journal writing, you do a meditation and you visualize those people standing in front of you and you greet them nicely, kindly, unconditionally. At the same time, you also bring in Archangel Michael. He is your mediator. He is your cord cutter, especially when you finalize and let go and either give those people that gave you this dark trauma back to them, because sometimes it does belong to the other person, especially if they're not in a great place, especially if they're angry, and especially if they're suffering from trauma of their own. They're angry. They need someone to blame, whatever the incident was. So give it back to them in a container, in a vessel, whatever you think of. But be kind and give that energy that you've been holding for all these years back to them with unconditional love and forgive them. Tell them that you forgive them. And usually, once that's done, send them on, once that's done, that's when you can visualize Archangel Michael lifting his sword up and cutting that cord between you and them. The thing is also, if you are to blame, then you do it vice versa, okay? You take back the raru, or you take back what you have caused, okay? That energy, take it back, put it in the vessel, okay? And you give it up. You surrender it to source, to light. And you ask for forgiveness. And the thing is, at all this, you've got to forgive yourself first, all right? Then ask for forgiveness. Those things will really help you to move on into your life and to clear. All of these things have got a lot to do with your future as well, because there was so much indoctrination during your victim mode, your survivor mode. You were only trying to survive in a trauma that wasn't yours. It didn't belong to you in the first place. Someone did this to you. And this is the time when you take back your power. Each time you forgive someone else from the time of your trauma until now. The thing is, and you're probably asking, what about the person that hurt me? In time, when you're ready, forgive that person for what they did. And it's not for them, it's for you. And you don't have to be in their presence either. You can do the same as what I'm telling you now. Send it back to them with unconditional love. And because you've done that with the unconditional love, it's not going to come back to you because you've severed that part. But like I said before, when you're ready to forgive that person that hurt you to start with, do it when you're ready. Don't force yourself to do it when you're ready. Sometimes you feel like, I really need to get this off my shoulder. And that's the time when you need to heal that part. You need to forgive them, okay? Because all this weight walking around is as in survivor mode, a victim mode. You're carrying all that weight on your shoulders, okay? Or you're carrying that energy in your throat. That's why I did the chakra cleanse and alignment, okay? to clear that base chakra, to clear that sacral of your emotions, and to clear that solar plexus of your intentions behind everything that you did, to clear the grief that you've been carrying, harboring for all these years, to clear the throat so you could speak your truth from a higher consciousness, not from your pain and your hurt and your trauma. From here, clearing that third eye so you can see the visions clearly. So intuitively you are able to receive and channel your gifts to the best of your ability. And those will just improve and improve over time, continuously. And then finally, your crown chakra, to make a better connection and a stronger connection to a higher consciousness, your connection to source between you and your ancestors as well. So you can bring in that information and that guidance from your people in spirit world. Let's go back down to the base chakra, because that suffered a lot more damage. And that base chakra has been full of fear. That base chakra is in alignment with your legs as well, moving forward, walking forward. And sometimes that can be really, really hard, especially if you're feeling that fear. Sometimes you'll get your knees knocking together because there's so much nervousness. But that base chakra is very important because it's part of the foundations that you stand on. And that's your kaupapa. What's a kaupapa? Your kaupapa is something that you've written about yourself. What do you stand for? Who are you? What are you all about? What do you want in your future? And yes, it's like planting seeds as well, because it's in the root. So with that beautiful base chakra of yours needs to be healed, especially through the cervix. And as you know, we went through the heart chakra through the door, and we went through a passageway full of crystals, okay? And I call that part of the sacred child the cervix, okay? Whose cervix is it? It could be yours, it could be Mother Earth's as well, all right? But yeah, that base chakra, okay, needs a lot of courage, stability, stronger foundations. And that's where, when you write your kaupapa, when you write your who you're all about, that is something that will start your foundations from being stronger. You stand on that kaupapa of yours. It brings you mana. You can stand in your power. Okay? I look at some people, ask people, well, who are you? Do you know who you are? Your identity, this, that, and the other. And I know for a fact that a lot of people who've been through child trauma have lost a part of their identity. I put it down to soul identity to start with, to retrieve back the soul. Then you retrieve your identity, who you really are, your birthright. What were you sent here in the first place? Why did you come here? Half the reason why a lot of people, and this is only my opinion, why this has happened to a lot of people is because maybe their bloodline needs to be healed. It's time to heal that generational trauma from this timeline into the past timelines. Centuries of our ancestors have gone through so much trauma. And now that we're supposed to be civilized in 2026, this is time for us to change that in your bloodline, in your whānau, your family, all over the world. It's time for us to take up and rise up above any traumas that we have gone through, especially, culturally, but also, there's culture in all countries, even your colonizers. There's a culture there that has been suppressed. We know that. But those cultures and the respect of the land are on the rise. Okay. And this is part of your awakening, what you're going through as well. You're really tuning in to your timelines, past lives. You're really tuning into your birthright, your connection to source, to light, to Mother Earth, and also to your ancestors. Yes, who are on the other side, but they are very much with us in spirit. So, with this, you keep writing down anything that you wake up with, anything that you feel had traumatized you in the last 20 years, or any confrontations that need to be healed with other people. And those people may not be part of your life anymore. But that's not the problem is that you're still holding negative energy and old trauma in your mind, your body, and your soul. Now, just a few things that I need to just say is that when you do these, do your journal writing, okay? Or when you get this memory in the morning, get it sorted on that day if you can. Get into a routine as soon as you wake up and you have that memory. Get into your journal straight away so you can clear the slate, so you can shift more energy. Because once you do these exercises, the journaling and the meditation, you are absolutely shifting old energy. You're letting it go. It's moving from you. The thing is, what I will express though, if there's more trauma in this world, that old programming may come back, but you already know what to do with it. You can tell it to bye-bye, I've worked on you, I send you away with love. I know you're trying to take space in me again, but this is from, again, systemic trauma. Yeah. So whenever it's you, and you've got to be careful where you are, what you listen to what movies you watch, so your trauma doesn't become triggered again. Okay. It's just, it is what it is. I know what you mean, but this has been happening for years, that programming, okay? And everything that we look at. The thing is, try and come away from social platforms if you can, okay? I know if you're coming on YouTube, but this is going to be put on my own website as well, with thesilverkuru.com.au. So then you don't have to, you're not going to get sidetracked with opening another page into another menagerie or another rabbit hole, okay? Yeah. Excuse the background theme music, but we hardly get to hear sirens in this place. But yeah, it seemed to be happening. Anyway, so, okay, the thing is, first thing in the morning, when you get that bad memory, that shitty, bloody memory that's been stored in your body and your mind, and you wake up in the morning and it comes straight in, you go, right, I'm going to deal to you today. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to clear some energy from me. So write it down, identify the situation, identify the people, welcome, and write it all down, okay? And also identify the emotions, how you felt, because that's what you've been carrying for so many years. And all those emotions, you put them into a vessel, a bucket, a can or tin or rubbish bag, rubbish bin, whatever. Put all that shit into there, okay? And once you've done that, you give it back to them with unconditional love when you do the meditation, okay? Let it go. It's not yours. But if it is yours, like I said, put it in the vessel, take it back from them. And you know what you've done. If you've done something wrong and you feel bad about it and you know that you did it wrong, it's time for you to fess up, put it in that vessel, okay? Surrender it to the light, to a higher consciousness, to source, and let it go. And start forgiving yourself and ask for forgiveness from source, okay? All right, I think that's enough for today. I can't think of anything else to tell you, but I'll keep doing these videos for your spiritual journey, your inner child journey, and just talk about the inner child for you so you can adapt easier. And also videos to love yourself. And I'm going to say, after you do this journaling and meditation, love yourself deeply, okay? Because you're moving forward. You're moving into a better life. And you're taking back your mana, your power each and every day as you shift old energy. And you're really, really becoming something very powerful now that you realize how much, because you exist and how powerful you are internally and externally. Kia ora koutou katoa, everyone. You all take care out there. Love and light, peace and harmony, and you just keep moving forward, especially in these times. Ake ake, amine, and Māori ora.